Hi, thank you for joining me on video number 10 of my COVID-19 series. Through the first 9 videos, we had seen the numbers and the way the coronavirus spread into India. We had also accepted the fact that the first lockdown done on 24th of March was a very wise decision. It was a very bold decision because the lockdown was going to cost the country a huge amount. But Prime Minister Modi, being an assertive and a decisive Prime Minister, took that decision on the 24th of March to lock down the country for 21 days. However, what I think is we were not able to take advantage of the lockdown as we should have. Why? Because no good questions were asked, no good observations were made for things that should have been studied. For example, nobody shared the study of those people being cured. What treatment was given to these people? What was curing them? If this would have been shared and publicly said, the fear amongst people would have reduced. Secondly, nobody questioned the pattern of testing that we were doing because the testing in India was just giving out a number of approximately 4% of people getting infected from those being tested. This was too low a number. Again, there was a very huge disconnect between the projected numbers of the coronavirus spread and the real numbers that were coming up. These were never studied. On the other hand, the media of India was actually doing fear mongering amongst us by dramatizing the news, by dramatizing the numbers. Everything was going towards fear mongering. We also spoke that was it that they were doing it intentionally. The smart media people, the smart anchors of the Indian media, never asked relevant questions, probably because the media was to gain from a lockdown out of a higher revenue from advertising, a higher viewership, and of course, a lower production cost. So, this probably did not let us take the advantages that we could have got in the first 21 days of lockdown. And unfortunately, we had to extend the lockdown by another 19 days. Very unfortunately, even during these 19 days, nobody asked the right questions. People, including you and me and the government, we all went behind the toys or the junjunas that the media had given in. We have already discussed what these junjunas were in the in one of the videos in the first 8. So what is the real situation here now? Is we have lost a good opportunity. We wasted the first 21 days of lockdown. Our attention was diverted towards wrong things rather than us asking real questions that could have made the government to lift the lockdown much before when it would actually be made. That is the reality. I'm going to take here now the actual numbers versus the projections. Should we have actually been so worried about coronavirus is what I'm trying to establish. I am not saying the first lockdown was wrong, but I'm definitely saying that we wasted the first lockdown, which was the reason of going into the second lockdown. It could have been just released after the first lockdown itself. So what's the reality? The actual numbers as of today are 35,000 when it was projected to be millions. And it was this projections that had led to the lockdown. Secondly, was lockdown the only reasons for the actual numbers being low? Has anybody studied that? We have attributed India's low numbers only to the lockdown. What about the immunity of Indians being higher than the Western countries? Wouldn't this have been a reason for low numbers in India? Indians are more immune. We have been living in polluted surroundings all our lives. Maybe that is the reason for a better immunity in us, or whatever the reason may be. Scientists or researchers or doctors should be able to tell that. I'm neither an expert nor a doctor nor a scientist to say that. However, my logical and rational thinking gives me an answer to this, that maybe the Indian immunity was good. Secondly, it was projected that there will be no cure. However, from the beginning, the number of people succumbing to coronavirus was always one third or one fourth of those getting cured. So, what was it that was curing them? If this information would have been shared, it would have given a dilasa to you and me, plus doctors would have been better equipped to fight coronavirus or treat patients of coronavirus. But this was not done. So why was there no questions asked about these things? Is a question mark on the media and on the government and the advisors of the government. Anyway, so what was the reason to worry about coronavirus? They said that 3 lakh people would get infected, or maybe even more would get infected from coronavirus in a month or two. 3 lakh infections. In India, out of malaria, there are about 27 lakh infections every year, which are dengue and malaria. 3 lakh is just a measly number. Then there is an argument that malaria does not kill people, or malaria is not as contagious as coronavirus. So has coronavirus proved to be as contagious with just 35,000 infections in a month? Look at the stark difference in the number. When they say maybe 1 lakh people could have succumbed to corona or could have died because of corona. Are we serious about this? 4 lakh people are dying out of road accidents every year in India since many years. 4.5 lakh people are dying out of TB every year in India. Approximate, that's an average. So why should we worry about corona? It is just another infection that is maybe killing the people. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to prove in this video, that coronavirus in any case is not that big a worry. The bigger worry is our media that is fear mongering. Thank you for watching this video, and do ask questions to the media. Thank you.